agree, but we've made the line we can't cross anymore.
That's why I said low C. Isn't that bottom of the crime list tier?
We've got normal devs up to a point, and then we've got literal crimes. Like, this is the stupidest tier list we've done yet. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me, as always, are my good friends, Kyle.
Hello.
And Hunter. How you doing?
I'm doing just swell.
I tell you what, guys. I went to see Barbie today. I'm not going to talk about the fact that my computer almost died and I spent 12 hours in the past 2 days trying to fix it and we've got it working in time. I'm not going to talk about that. I saw Barbie, and let me tell you, it was a movie, guys. It was actually pretty good. I was saying to you guys, there's my friend dragged me and I was like, hey, it looks kind of funny. How bad could it possibly be? And it wasn't bad. It was very funny. And now I'm adding to my list of male actors who I think are way too fucking talented, as Ryan Gosling is now getting added to that list because, my God, that man is the funniest person I have seen ever. I'm adding him to the Ryan Reynolds category of just people who have too much charisma that almost you share some with the rest of us, you selfish people, because it's just unbelievable. But yeah. We really struggled. We got here in the end. We thought we weren't going to have a bit of a problem recording the podcast this week because my PC decided to explode. But we're here and we're talking about whatever Hunter's telling us we're talking about this week. It's going to be fun, guys. It's a filler episode. We're here.
Thanks, bestie.
Thank you, Hunter.
You know, you always phrase it that way, and it always makes it sound like you don't have a say.
We don't.
We say.
None of us fought him on this topic.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: I was too busy fighting my PC. I was too busy beating it to a pulp because
either.
Yeah,
Kyle doesn't like fighting. He's a pacifist.
It's not my fault that I went through 3
games.
Windows. Yeah. It's not my fault that I had to reinstall Windows. I went through 3 Windows boot keys and we're trying to punch the update in. It just wouldn't work. Oh my gosh. Windows is when people always go, PC's super hard, updates, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's not that hard, guys. Get a grip. And then you try and reinstall Windows and you're like, you know what? Maybe those console fanboys have a tiny bit of a point, because as soon as you have to do the restart from scratch, it's like drawing blood from a stone, man. It's so painful and you just want to hit your head on the desk and it's awful. But we're here.
PC games are for nerds.
It's true. We're here. I think we're good. And yeah, we're just going to rock and roll. We're talking about, we're going to rank every video game publisher. And before that, we're going to talk about that Spider-Man 2 trailer, because that kind of crept up out of nowhere. So we're going to talk about that too. But if you're new here, this is the HGO podcast. We're here every Monday around 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern on podcast services, or on youtube.com/hotgamersonly. You can look at our stupid faces each and every week over there. Bit of housekeeping for you lot. We have our Final Fantasy 16 review coming extremely soon, right, Hunter?
Most of the audio is recorded as of today, yes.
It'll be up this week on youtube.com.
Yo, if you want 6 hours of footage, I got you.
Sick. I didn't record any.
Sweet.
See, that's teamwork. I'm
Sweet.
not gonna lie.
I don't want my footage to go to waste.
And then I think shortly after that, there'll also be a rain code review. So Hunter's getting through that. I'm not going to lie. There was a part of me this week that was like, I could have done the rain code review. And then I genuinely did. I sat down for a good hour trying to write something about that game. And I don't know if it's because I finished it 3 weeks ago, or it's just a very hard game for me to review, especially after the fact, because I have I don't know what is critical
mystery
thinking.
Games are kind of hard anyway, because you have to dance around the story, which is the main part of the game.
Well,
I could talk for hours about Somnium Files, but my review for that's only 6.5 minutes.
Well, it's not just that. It's very hard for me to draw my conclusion on that game because I'm still very torn in general. So it's basically my whole thing this isn't the review that will go up because Hunter will do a much better job and he'll have a definitive answer for you. But my whole thing was, I don't know whether to give it a 3 or a 4 because there are fundamental flaws of that game that I really don't like, and there's parts of that game that are really bad. But there are also parts of that game which I think are brilliant, and there's a load of stuff, and there's potential there. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what to give it myself. Never mind what I think others should do based on this thought pattern. Because that game has broken me, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. We can put that down. Raincoat has broken me to the point where I can't write a review because I'm that contested with my own emotions that I just can't. It's just inconceivable for me to give that game a score. But Hunter will do a great job. And then, look on the bright side, Hunter. Something. You aren't going to be the chuckle fuck that has to review a 100-hour RPG in Starfield. So, look on the bright side.
I reviewed Zelda a month ago.
Yeah, but you were gonna play 100 hours of Zelda anyway.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to play.
Ethan has to play 100 hours of Starfield.
We
can't, Hunter.
Yeah, I have to.
I mean, if I really wanted to,
we can't, Hunter.
But I'm not gonna.
But yes, those things are going to happen. I also want to say thank you for 275 subscribers. I feel like we've been doing subscriber milestones quite a bit recently. Thank you. We appreciate it a lot. I made a jokey tweet saying, if we hit it this week, I play My Friend Peppa Pig. So look forward to, I don't know if I'll stream it or something like that. I'll play My Friend Peppa Pig. Our word is, I will go, my word's my word. I'll do it.
Play it and write a review of it?
No, I'm not writing a review of it, but I will play it.
Damn.
Can't write reviews about games I like, Kyle. Never mind games like that. We're trying to get
Crash Team Rumble video turned out pretty good.
Sure it did. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Thank you for 275. We're trying to reach 300 by the end of the year. So if you're on podcast services or if you're new here and you like what we've apparently done, because look at this intro, it's one of our best. Click that subscribe button. We haven't rambled on enough. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. Obviously, if you were here last week, you'll know we've got a jam-packed rest of the year, and I will promise you this much: other than Starfield, because I'm not here for the launch, so we will be behind on the Starfield review. The rest of the reviews coming out this year will probably be closer to release than the Zelda and the Final Fantasy and the Raincoat ones. They kind of just got ahead of Hunter. They were all chucked on Hunter, and they've kind of all got ahead of us. So that's bad planning on our part. We'll do better in the fall, I promise. Will it be a promise that I break? Probably, but I promise it now, and that's all that matters. But thank you for the support. And if you
to be fair,
so,
the Final Fantasy review probably would have been up by now if I didn't also have like concerts this past week and the week before to just exhaust me for the duration of the work week.
There you go then. Blame Hunter because I would having too much fun.
I would have had the script done sooner, and therefore would have moved on to like recording the audio last weekend.
That's so good. It's all good. We have lives. Like I said, I think I said this in the comments at some point, but it's like, we do this for fun. We've not made a single cent from this podcast in the 3.5 years that we've been running it. And not that we do in the aim of doing that, we do it for fun. So we can't always have reviews out within 3 days of a game coming out. It's not realistic. That Crash Team Rumble video, very proud of it. It was a stupid idea. I literally didn't, I got 4 hours sleep between 3 nights and didn't do anything other than play, write, and review Crash Team Rumble for 4 days. It wasn't healthy.
I think it's incredible that the 2 reviews that we rushed to get out, quote, rushed to get out between your Crash Team Rumble and my Octopath 2 review, where I had only gone through all the characters' chapter 1s. And I'm like, yeah, I can write a review on this. It's just crazy to see how well those both did.
Which is why we want to get them out more frequently.
I wish the Coffee Talk review got that kind of number.
Sorry, the Horizon one did all right, and so did the Xenoblade one, Hunter. You just got bombarded by Ethan. That's what happened. Just like everybody. Too much Ethan. Feels bad.
That's why we're kicking him off for 3 weeks in September.
It's true. And you know what? They might actually realize that the show runs smoother without me, and then I'll just be gone forever. Oh, well.
Well, even if on camera that turned out to be true, that would be a problem for the back end of things where you do everything.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, damn, this week's a lot better, but we're losing our work mule. What a shame. We're going to have to bring him back. That's a tragedy. None of us can learn to do this.
Listen, I have to play the video games. I don't have time for the rest of it.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
That's true. If we didn't have Hunter playing the video games, we wouldn't have a show.
Right. Can we talk about this Spider-Man trailer? No. This intro's gone on for way too long.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you. Keep supporting us, please. Begging you. Podcast reviews, whatever. Thank you. We appreciate you. Get us to 300 by the end of the year. What's the reward? I don't know. Happiness? Gratitude?
The next milestone.
The next milestone? Play Peppa Pig 2 at 300 subscribers. Anyway, Spider-Man 2. We'll talk about this first because Spider-Man is pretty pog. The main reason I wanted to talk about it, to be honest, is because, Hunter, we have these conversations every now and again on this podcast where a trailer comes out and we always go, oh, that was a bit shit, or, you know, or the other way around, where we talk about the Breath of the Wild trailer and like, greatest trailer of all time, greatest video game trailers
Undefeated.
of all time, Breath of the Wild. It still is the best trailer of all time, in my opinion, for a video game.
Sure is.
But I watched this Spider-Man trailer at I woke up to it because it was released late because of Comic-Con, right? So I woke up to a Spider-Man 2 trailer and I watched it, and we talked about it last week, right? Where I'm like, I'm excited for Spider-Man 2. There are other games I'm more excited for, but I'm very excited for it. Watch that trailer. I instantly was like, yeah, fuck all these other games, baby. Spider-Man 2 game of the year. Like, it genuinely, I don't know what this trailer did, but it clicked a synapse in my brain that was like...
It activated the neurons.
It genuinely did. We were talking last year, last week, where I was like, I don't think Spider-Man 2 is a game of the year contender. Where I was like, because, you know, I was like, it's an 88, everyone will love it, we'll move on. I watched that trailer and I was like, oh no, I think they're cooking here, because it's like, I don't know what it was. Like, it's like the Coney Island, the little, like, with the fireworks going off and everything, like all that stuff, and just looking at this game and just hearing the voice acting and seeing the story, I'm like, oh god, no, this is like, I didn't think it clicked in my head where I'm like, they're just gonna do a 2018 Spider-Man but make it bigger and better in like every single way possible. And then I watched that and I was like, this trailer, I was like, oh no, they're making a Spider-Man sequel that's going to be bigger and better in every way possible. Like, no, it looks so good. Like, I'm genuinely so excited for this video game. It's unreal. I am so excited now. Fuck Starfield off. You thought I was an Xbox fanboy for 2 months. Get it out. Dude, Spider-Man, it's going to be great.
Yeah, I do think it looks really good as far as what they're doing with the story, and has potential to go interesting places. At least, you know, as far as Insomniac putting their own little spin on the details of the Spider-Man mythos was some of the most interesting stuff about the other games. Like, I like what they did with... I like the twist they put on Miles' story, even in the first game. Not his own yet, but even just the little twist they did with that was cool. And as far as... I think they have the potential to do something really neat with this Venom story.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, this genuinely, I don't think, and it's like, I'm
losing faith in my Venom Craven final boss prediction, though.
Here's the thing, right? I think that trailer confirms that it is definitely Harry that is Venom at some point. I think that trailer basically confirms it, because, you know, the trailer starts off with Harry saying, we can heal the world, and the trailer ends with Venom saying, we're going to heal the world. So it seems like it's very much it eventually goes to Harry. I still think that it doesn't end at Harry. I think your Craven idea isn't a bad shout of, like, final
really
boss is that. I would not be surprised. I also think, like, this confirms, if not the PS4, we haven't talked about the PS5, by the way, the new PS5 custom controller and console covers, which looks fucking fabulous. Love it. Really do like it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it basically being the PS4 design, but fighting off Venom's, like, symbiote attaching to it, which I think is really cool. I also like that that's very clearly, like, going to be the midpoint of Miles trying to get the symbiote off of Peter, like that kind of fight. That seems to be what's going on. But it's like, we know that there's going to be certain stuff in this game, and we've been saying it forever, you know. Harry's going to be Venom. You're going to have the emo Peter phase for the first half of the game. There's probably going to be a mid-game shift. Like in the first game, there was very much a mid-game shift where the first half of the game is Mr. Negative, and then the second half of the game is something else, because Kyle still hasn't finished, still hasn't played that one. But, you know, it goes from one main villain to another, basically. And I think the game's going to do the exact same thing, where the first half of it is going to be Kraven causing chaos, the stuff with the lizard, and Peter having the symbiote is basically going to be the first half. Then the second half is going to be the symbiote gets off of Peter, goes to Harry, and you'll probably still have the Kraven stuff carrying on, but then I'm going to assume it shifts. My theory is, Hunter, it shifts away from Kraven.
You think it's going to be on Peter before it gets to Harry.
I think, yeah. I think it's my prediction is the symbiote comes off of Harry, goes to Peter. It's already been on Harry, right? It's already been on Harry. It goes to
all right.
Peter, then it returns to Harry. That's what my assumption is. Because here's the
Return to
thing.
Monkey.
Yeah. Well, Venom learns all of the kind of Spider-Man, like the Venom symbiote is going to learn the kind of Venom kind of thing, the things we know Venom from Spider-Man, right? The swinging, so he's going to learn all that. So I think the symbiote's just the symbiote at first. It probably escapes when Harry gets out of the pod and it just fucks off, right?
Yeah.
That's my guess. But who knows? But it's just like watching this trailer. I also think, and I thought this was brilliant, and I think it's going to happen, is there's the scene with MJ and the Peter symbiote. Like, she's hiding behind a corner and there's the red lights, and then like Spider-Man with the symbiote on it is like jumping down in the red corridor. And I was like, that would be... I know people don't want MJ playable, but I'm like, if they do make an MJ section, imagine a Resident Evil horror kind of situation of her being.
This is the kind of thing that would have made her sections before tolerable, right? Is if they made, if it was like a cool little horror hide and seek thing, that would be sick, not just prancing around in these mediocre stealth segments.
I think that's a really cool idea.
Those were lame, but that would be cool. I'd be down with that.
But no, just like honestly, it's like looking at that trailer, I'm like, damn, this does, like, at first I was like, it's gonna look like a prettier Spider-Man, but I'm like, okay, this does kind of feel like a next gen, especially with the facial animations and all of that jazz. And like I say, the Coney Island stuff, like that looks like, that reminds me of in Miles Morales, there was the scene of the party going on the street, right, in the snow that they showed in that trailer. Yeah. And everyone was like, damn, this is pretty. And Coney Island's the exact same shot where I'm like, this somehow looks prettier than Miles, and Miles already looked great. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm just very excited. I'm very excited for Spider-Man. Put it on my list. It's above Starfield now. Spider-Man 2 is straight back up at the top. Starfield, you got to claim that back. You've got to claim it back.
Get in the bin.
Get in the bin, Starfield. I love you, Spider-Man 2. I love you, Yuri Lowenthal, please. Thank you. He's just great. He's just great, dude. Anyway. Shall we talk about...
I didn't know there was a bear in these woods.
That's like honestly like my favorite line in that whole trailer. And I saw somebody was like, that's what it was like, that's dorky. I'm like, that's the point. That's what Peter Parker is.
Spider-Man is, you moron.
I just... very good. Very good.
The fun police watched that trailer.
I also like the idea. I know we didn't really spend, but it's like the idea of, because you see Martin Lee, Mr. Negative with Miles. I like the idea of them both having these separate storylines going, not necessarily it all being okay, just swapping between two characters that are interacting in the same story. To have them have their own little story beats and stuff like that, I think will be really interesting.
Because it would be like, it'd be kind of lame if it was all Peter's story until they needed to, pass the baton to Miles to beat him up. So if it's alternating and stuff, I think that'll work better.
I also feel like it's like they do have characters that lean towards more one side, right? So you've got the character that shows up in the fire in that trailer, which is a character that was a plot twist of the City That Never Sleeps DLC. Near the end, that character is going to be their storyline is going to be more Peter centric because it affects him more than it will Miles, and likewise the Mr. Negative stuff definitely affects Miles more than it does Peter at the end of the day because of what happened. So it's like, I like that kind of idea of them going, we have these characters in this universe that have affected them both in different ways, and one more than the other, so we can split them up in a way, which I think
this might make because I know they say you can alternate and do like side stuff with each of them, but it'd be interesting if they have like non-essential story stuff for both of them to do that was unique to each other.
They've confirmed that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Because like
all the side stuff, I believe, is either a Peter side thing or it's built for each of them.
I was gonna say that would make some of the bloat of the original game probably seem less bloaty if it was tailored to either of them, because then they could do more unique things and less minion camps.
But I love minion camps. I love punching 6 people and then punching another 6 people.
I got to the final third of the game, and that's when they started giving them like jetpacks and rifles and stuff, and I was like, this is just taking too long now. I'm done.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
I really hope they don't do that
No
in this
more.
one, especially because, like I say, if we lose the symbiote around halfway through, then that's going to be a lot more annoying, especially if they bring the jetpack people back. And you're like, well, now I just want to play as
yeah.
Miles because it's just Miles is better. Like this is like,
Yeah, he's got the good old.
I don't care if you get
Venom,
the. I don't care if you get the
other Venom
fucking.
punch.
Yeah, I don't care if you get the metal claws, Peter. I don't care. I want. It's. But anyway, the game looks great. It looks fantastic. But it won't be everyone's favorite game of the year. Mario Wonder. I can't wait, dude. He's gonna turn into an elephant. It's gonna be the funniest shit you've ever seen, kids. It's gonna be great.
He's gonna get the Venom symbiote. That's the biggest twist.
Venom.
It's a multimedia project.
I knew it. The crossover you never asked for.
How wonderful. Anyway, let's rank every video game publisher. So, I did send you guys the link. We have a tier list this time, guys, because Ethan found one. Well done, everybody.
Ooh.
We're making progress. So, with the magical power of editing, I switched the scene. Wow, here we are.
Wow, good job,
it's a tier
Ethan.
list. So,
Hunter, isn't it beautiful?
wow, you guys can't see it, but I gave you the link
Wow,
so we can
ruin the
follow at
illusion.
home. Yeah. Anyway, we have got a load of publishers here, and it's going to be our job to rank all of them. After yesterday's last week's kind of rant about some video game publishers, you might see where a couple of them might go. But
I can't imagine.
I think the real game of this is going to be ranking how much you enjoy their games versus ranking how annoying they are to
As
you
a
outside
company.
of the games
That's
against
the
each
thing
other
here.
here.
And I just want to say, if you are looking for an unbiased opinion, you've come to the wrong fucking place. That's all I'm going to say. We're not here to make friends. We are not here to go,
Especially not with the companies that don't care about us.
yeah,
True.
100%. We're also not going to be like, oh, hey, they make great games, but they treat people like shit. We're going to take the treating people like shit into consideration here. Because at the end of the day, why the fuck not? It'll be fun anyway. So, we've got a load of people. The fun part here is we're going to have to ask Hunter a lot of the time, me and Kyle are, of what did they make? Because me and Kyle don't know as many games as Hunter does. So, it'll be fun. So Hunter, I hope you're getting that game list ready because we're going to need some big boy ones, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get started with everybody's favorite publisher, 2K. So, other than shitty basketball games, what does 2K make? That's
Don't
my
they
big
make like
question.
all the shitty sports games? I think
Isn't-
they make like a shitty baseball game too.
I'm pretty sure that the
MLB The
game
Show,
is,
yeah.
that's not 2K.
No, that's
someone else.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
That's not.
PlayStation.
Oh damn.
2K, aren't they in
I'm
charge?
thinking of the old
They're
days.
in charge of Borderlands too, aren't they? They're above
Are they?
Gearbox in that totem pole, I believe.
I thought Gearbox is now owned by what's it called?
Oh shoot, yeah, they might be. God,
the
That's so-
2K publisher.
oh, shoot,
We're looking this up. As you can see, guys, off to a great
we
start.
came prepared. well.
2K. Wait,
Take Two Interactive.
yeah,
Take Two is
That's
not.
the parent.
Take Two.
Take
is the
Two
parent.
Interactive. Lego 2K Drive. Right. Okay. Here we go. All games. So they make. No, they do make Borderlands.
Aha.
Okay. They are the Borderlands people. This is going so well. Yeah.
Easier.
So they make the WWE games, they make the PGA golf games, NJ. They made The Quarry. That's a game they made. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Well, I say made, they published. Mafia, Borderlands, XCOM.
XCOM.
Yeah, XCOM is under them. Duke Nukem, obviously. Yeah, and I did think out. So BioShock is also under them as well.
Oh right, BioShock.
Right. I'm going to say a lot of that stuff. Oh, God, I just realized. Oh, why have our webcams disappeared? Hello. That's an
no.
error. We might have to cut that one out. Oh, it's because I put that there. Sorry, video. I forgot how things work. It's fine. Anyway, here's the thing. They make games, dude. But I don't care about any of them, you know. Like they've done a couple of. Here's the thing: they made a couple of good ones. Borderlands hasn't been a good Borderlands in fucking years. Like Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands was the last good Borderlands game, right?
Yeah.
BioShock, those games are great. There hasn't been a new one since 2013.
Yeah. That's the problem. Is I'm very much a "what have you done for me lately" situation, and
Yeah.
they've got the typical scummy practices of what you would expect from the sports games present in all of those.
Yeah. So,
My friend gets the wrestling games every year, and every time he turns that on, the first screen he sees is asking him to buy a card pack for, there's, I don't know, Peacemaker John Cena or whatever.
Right, I'm gonna say
that's not a real thing, but
I'm gonna say there are companies
he's in Mortal
definitely
Kombat.
there are companies definitely worse than
yeah,
2K.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they're a strong
publicized
C.
abuse about them yet.
I'm saying they're a strong C.
C.
I
Yeah.
was thinking C also, yeah.
If we're talking about 2005 to 2015, then I'd give you a B because Borderlands up until that point and BioShock are pretty good games. But
Yeah.
alas, you get nothing for trying. Anyway, 505. We're starting off strong with all the games that we don't know. Like, what does 505 make?
Oh, 505 off the top of my head have published, they published Abzu from the...
Is Wikipedia down for everybody else?
No,
Okay.
not for me.
Wikipedia doesn't want to work for me. They
It's
have
another one where
controls
Oh,
under
Control.
them. They
Sick.
published Death Stranding on PC, Ghost Runner.
Yeah, they did that, Ghost Runner.
Are you in Chronicle Rising? Abzu, Bloodstained. They published Dead by Daylight apparently. Don't Starve. Obviously Ghost Runner. Hellblade. The first
nice.
Hellblade was published by them. No Man's Sky was published by them. Payday 2. There's a lot of games actually. Stardew Valley was published by them at some point.
Yeah, a lot of they get a
Terraria?
lot of this. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Ayuden
it
Chronicle.
looks like they get a lot of these middle shelf or high end indie games here that, you know, they
Seto
just bring to
Corsa.
other platforms.
I'm
good
thinking a
games.
solid B for that.
Yeah, that's a good catalog there.
That's a good
Yeah.
catalog.
And like, I've never heard anything egregious about them. Maybe it's
definitely.
just ignorance there, but I've never heard anything horrible about anything that they've done,
So, yeah.
business practices or treatment wise. So
Congratulations,
that sounds like a B to
505.
me.
You get a B. Activision presents.
I would like to start the bidding at F, and I could be convinced to go lower.
Right. Well, hear me out. Do we? I need to add a row below. We need an F for one. We do need an F. Okay.
Like
this
Crash
one-
Bandicoot does his best, but that's not enough to, you know,
Save
stave
your
off
company.
the mediocrity that exists in the rest of their catalog besides Spyro. And then also horrible business practices and horrible treatment of your people and fire Bobby Kotick.
Here's the thing about
Rest my
Activision,
case.
right?
These are
is-
compelling points.
They have
In
some good teams.
defense,
They have some good teams in there, like say Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions, rest in peace. Beanox. They have some good stuff there. They make some good stuff with the Crash games, the Spyro game, full stop. Tony Hawk, they did a good job. Call of Duty is in the worst state it's ever been in, to the point where on Xbox currently, the top 5
Turning
best-selling
the old
games
games
at the moment
back on
are the
has
old
made that the
games.
best. Yeah.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. People love to shit on Call of Duty and people like to shit on Activision. But between the years of 2007 and 2012, Call of Duty, came out annually and it was the biggest franchise in the world. But the reason it was because those games were actually fucking good. Like, that's the reason. Was Black Ops 1 and 2, fantastic. Modern Warfare 1 and 2, fantastic. World at War, fucking brilliant. Love that game. There are so many good Call of Duty games. And then the PS4 generation happens, Ghosts, shite. You know, we keep going. Advanced Warfare. I love Advanced Warfare. I won't particularly say it's a very good Call of Duty, but I love
Was
that
that the
game. It
one
has a
with
special
Kevin
place in my heart.
Spacey?
Yeah, we don't talk about that part. The campaign was shit.
Yeah.
Multiplayer. The non-Kevin Spacey parts were pretty great. Black Ops 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. Love that game. But then after Black Ops 3, the series has taken a fucking nosedive ever since. Off we fucking go to the depths of fucking hell where we are right now, where Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard are some of the worst video games I've ever seen. So if we're talking about publishers in their current state, I'm happy to put them in fucking F. I'm really happy
Yeah.
because, yeah, Crash 4 is great and Crash Team Rumble is fine, but Call of Duty's in the worst place it's ever been. They've been
Crash
treating
4 was also 3 years ago at this point.
Crash and
just
Spyro
about.
like shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want this Xbox deal to fucking go through because I want to see. I know he's getting a golden
So they
parachute
can stop
goodbye,
talking about
but
it.
I'd rather kick him
Yeah,
out the
golden
plane. To be honest,
parachute
if we have to give him a
than-
parachute, fine. Just kick him out the plane. We need
No
action.
parachute at all, unfortunately, but you know.
So there we go. Anyway, next up, Bamco.
Bamco.
Bandai Namco.
These
they
guys are
make
pretty cool.
some video games.
I like a lot of what they make. Like the
They've
Tales
got
series
Tekken,
of what I've played
Tales.
is great.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur is my favorite fighting game series. And a lot of the extra bits and bobs they have. They published Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just
Published
publish
Dragon Ball
Elden Ring.
Fighters.
They published the trilogy of Dark Souls as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was under them as well. But
Yep.
sick. Yeah.
The only
helped
three
out
that
with the Smash
aren't
Bros.
are Demon
series.
Souls, which was Demon Souls and Blood Bowl was Sony, and then Sekiro was Activision.
Oh. Oh, well, that moves them up to D tier then.
No, you got a good point.
No, it doesn't.
No, sorry, Kyle. Hunter said no.
I haven't
Oh,
even played
dear.
Sekiro yet.
But does Namco just publish all of Arc System's fighting games? I don't know.
I was trying to find that, but I couldn't find an answer quickly, so I gave up.
Okay, well.
As
Anyway,
I
I think they're
leveled
at
do.
least at like
A.
a solid B. A? Yeah, okay.
I'm saying
Yeah.
A, because here's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Is
I'm
they
down.
make solid
They
video
do good
games,
things.
but like fucking Dark Souls trilogy, Elden Ring, dude. Like that alone is a B.
Yeah.
And never mind everything else they fucking make. Like, yeah, get them up in A. Good publisher. They know what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
And now for Bethesda, hear me out. No, don't laugh. Don't fucking laugh.
Bethesda.
Don't fucking laugh.
And now
Bethesda,
Skyrim.
Bethesda would be an S tier. Fallout 76 drops them to an A. Like that, like at least. Like that's what I'm saying.
Personally, I would put them at B, but that's also because their big things are the things that I don't care about, and I only like their smaller studios. But,
Well, I'm
you know,
like,
I
here's
can
the
be
thing.
bartered with, I suppose.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Every Elder Scrolls game, fucking banger, dude. Every Elder Scrolls game, fucking banger. Every Fallout game, ignore Fallout 76, fucking banger, dude.
Take your word for it.
Bethesda Game Studios, they make bangers, except for 76. That shit whack. But everything else, pretty fucking great. You look at their side stuff that they also publish. Yes, they've had the odd fucking miss with stuff like Redfall, okay? Uh-oh, game stinky. Okay, fair enough. Push that to the side. But when you look at everything else that they also published, when you look at, like, the id stuff that came out recently,
Yeah, Doom.
Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein 2. Like they
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire
Deathloop.
Tokyo was a bit of a oof, but you know,
Hi-Fi Rush,
Rush,
The Evil Within.
Evil Within.
You can
There's
play
so
this
much
game
good
for a
shit.
little while,
There's
Kyle.
so much good shit. This is why I put them
Yeah,
on
but
a
Hunter, I want a
Bamco.
cherry pick.
Yeah, it
They're a
doesn't work
Bamco
that way.
level. They make a few oofs.
Wayne
Bandai
Gretzky
Namco.
hockey. Who even cares?
Dude,
What?
literally.
There's
How
some
far
old
back
hockey
did you
games
go
from,
for
like
that?
the 80s.
Yeah, Terminator games. I'm chucking them in A because here's the thing: they may make a couple of stinkers every now and again, but at the same time, Bandai Namco's probably published some weeb shit every now and again. Like they probably made. Did they make Jump Force? They probably made Jump Force. And
Yeah,
if
it was definitely published by them. They published
and
Scarlet
if they
Nexus
publish
too.
Jump Force, I'm allowing Bethesda off for publishing Fallout 76 and making it as well. I'm letting them off. I still think they're an A. And if Starfield shit, they're going down to C. That is my threat to you, Todd Howard. Checkmate, bitch. We'll see you in September.
Checkmate.
Jump Force
mean-
developer Spike Chunsoft.
What a sentence there. No wonder. It was
Publisher
just-
Bandai Namco. Yeah, there
Doesn't
it is.
surprise me. Anyway. Speaking of disappointments, Blizzard Entertainment.
I would like to
Blizzard,
start the bidding at F,
Blizzard,
and I could be
Blizzard.
convinced to go lower.
Are we accepting Z as a valid tier list?
Here's the thing, right? With Blizzard, because Activision and Blizzard are the same fucking company. I don't know why we're separating them here.
Yeah, like if I.
But
was
if we're
making
talking
this
about
of-
game quality, then they're better than Activision. But it's like it's still the
but
same
also,
shitheads running the
arguably,
joint.
They treat their people even worse in that little subsection of their company.
I'm willing to put Blizzard. I say fucking.
Diablo Immortal came out last year,
Yeah.
and that was real bad.
Canceled
Millions-
Overwatch 2's story mode.
Yeah.
Right. I'm willing to make.
I'm just saying, all I ever hear about Blizzard is bad things.
But that's because of. Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing. I'm willing to make an E tier.
An E tier, amazing.
Just because. And, like. I know that's fucking. People can say Blizzard sympathizer or whatever. But here's the thing. They have made, in the past, generation-defining video games. And I'm not talking
like,
about.
It's not really disputable that WoW didn't define like a whole era of PC
WoW
gaming.
defined a whole era of PC gaming. StarCraft defined a lot of tactical video games for a long period of time. Overwatch was one of the biggest reinventions in the first-person shooter game until they nuked that video game into fucking oblivion. It's like... That gets to a point. Overwatch 2 is like the most abusive relationship I have ever been in with a video game, where it's like, I have never been so excited for a video game at its reveal with that trailer, and no company has ever punched me in the gut so many fucking times and made me so upset about what could have been, yet I still hear that fucking Overwatch 2 theme and still go, oh, it's so good! Like, that's literally, like, it's so bad what they've done to it, but it's like there's still hot there. So I think in terms of ethics, they're as shit as Activision, because of course they fucking are, but
Yeah.
at the same time they did make a couple of genre defining fucking hits, so E you get a 1 point up. And if Xbox buys you and you fucking get rid of your shitty fucking higher ups, then we could move them to where they probably more likely belong, which is currently in probably like a C, right? Like that's what I'm thinking.
Bump them back up to passing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'd still be in C because my god, Diablo Immortal and god, what they've done with Overwatch. My god.
They have super fumbled the bag with Overwatch 2.
To the point where I don't think they're going to recover anything from Overwatch 2, to be honest. I think it's a lost cause.
It makes me laugh that when that was originally announced with its shiny campaign or whatever, I was like, oh, cool, I might play that one.
Yeah,
And
same.
now there's not
Over-
a chance.
The
I'd sooner
world of
send myself into
Overwatch.
the sun.
The world of Overwatch is super interesting, and I would have loved to see that get explored in like a proper campaign.
I don't think there's a single
instead of just the
I don't
trailers
think-
they put out.
I don't think there's a single cinematic for Overwatch where I haven't thought, why the fuck this isn't an animated movie or a
Yeah.
TV show or something. I've cried at so many of those Overwatch cinematics. It's unreal. Like, genuinely, like the May one, especially, particularly fucking sad. I love that one. The Overwatch 2 launch one is so epic. That fucking theme that they made for Overwatch 2 is so good. What a waste of a fucking theme tune. I don't think I've heard a better video game theme for such a disappointing video game. Like, honestly, the orchestra and everything. The fact that that trailer ended with, does that mean Overwatch is back? And Winston says,
I
yes,
don't know.
yes, we
I
are.
do believe
And
that
it,
Sonic 06 had a pretty slamming theme.
it's not as good as the Overwatch 2 theme, Hunter. It's not as good
His
as the
world
Overwatch 2
is
theme.
pretty good.
Anyway, next up on our list of tragedy. The fucking tier list is that big now, you can't see this fucking the logos underneath. I'm sorry, guys. This episode's a train
Well,
wreck.
now it's just a surprise.
Anyway, Capcom,
Capcom.
hear
I'd
me
be willing
out.
To go.
Get your
A,
biases
at
out the fucking
least.
shed. Get your biases out the fucking shed for a second. That's
Okay,
all I'm
fine, say
saying.
what you want.
Because they make some stinkers. I'm not saying they're not.
But they
I'm saying-
don't matter.
They've had
Yeah.
a really good bounce back from when they were making the stinkers, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's not an A. I'm not saying that Capcom isn't an A. I'm saying that Capcom is an A. They're an A.
Yeah,
They're a high A. They're better than Bamco.
That's-
Stick them at the fucking top. I'm just saying, here's the thing with S is they've made some fucking incredible remakes. They have made some incredible remakes recently. They've been doing a good job at that. But also, I've never played a Capcom game yet, and I know I haven't played Resident Evil 2, but I've never gone and played a Capcom video game and gone, that's one of the greatest games I've ever played in my fucking life. I've been like, that's a very damn good video game, very high quality video game right there. But I've never gone, fucking hell, stick that on the list. Because, like, here's the thing, right? If we're talking about, like, we'll get to Nintendo later, where I'm like, Nintendo makes so many fucking stinkers, but they've also made so many video games where I'm like, that's one of the best video games I've ever played in my life, you know?
Yeah, and for me, Capcom is in that category. Devil May Cry 5, Devil May Cry 5, if we want to discount the remakes of the Resident Evil games that were already great. Fantastic. Street Fighter 6, pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
And the
I mean,
other
Kyle,
Resident Evil
Kyle,
games
if you
that
want to
have been coming out, still
if you
pretty
want-
good.
If you want to overrule me, Kyle, I'll leave this to you. This is in the hands of Kyle. Hunter says S. I'm saying A. You can overrule the vote. What are you doing?
No, I was also thinking A, because yeah, they've had a really good bounce back, but you know, you'll still get the occasional stinker, like Exoprimal just released a week ago.
And no, everyone's already
And
forgotten.
not Dino Crisis.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
You make your game about dinosaurs, you already have a dinosaur franchise, and you just call it not Dino Crisis. That being said, if they ever announce Marvel vs. Capcom 4, I'd be willing to bump it up to S.
Before you've played it, wow.
Because
True Capcom
Marvel
vote.
3 was damn good, but Marvel Capcom Infinite was a stinker.
True. Right. Next up, CD Projekt
Projekt
Red. CD Projekt Red.
I don't think I've played a CD Projekt Red game.
I also
I
haven't.
have, so I guess I get the choice here. Time to annoy some fans. They're going in
God.
B. And here's the reason
That's
they're
fair.
going in B. I think The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a very good video game. It turns somebody, me, who hates Western fantasy, into somebody, me, who liked a Western fantasy thing. Good job. I enjoyed it. That being said, the game's how old? And it still had a load of bugs in it? Yeah. And also, Cyberpunk released in such a shitty state. It might be getting to the way where it'll be perfect by September or whenever the Phantom Liberty DLC comes out. But they kind of fumbled the bag there. Does it mean that they don't make great games, though? No. They still make great games. Like I say, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, generation-defining video game. Cyberpunk 2077 might be another generation-defining game when it releases properly
If it can
this
ever come
September.
out properly.
Yeah.
But, you know, a bit too many fumbles. Also, they're a bit too early. It's a bit too early to class them as like an S tier or an A tier, in my opinion, because they just fumbled the bag on their recent game, and there's not enough good stuff, you know? They had The Witcher 3, but The Witcher 2 and 1 people liked, but they weren't as big a deal. And
Yeah.
neither, like, you know, give them some time. Let them cook. Witcher 4, that's when we'll start talking. When they release a game that's properly finished, that's when we'll start talking. So yeah, B
CD
tier for me.
Projekt Red is also the company that put out like their 10-year roadmap, right?
Yeah.
I thought
Which
that
is-
was pretty cool of
Which
them
I
to
think
do.
is very cool. Like I say, they're trying their hardest to. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I've just remembered something. They're going up to A. GOG.
Oh,
They own GOG. Which, if
What's
you don't
that?
know, Good Old
It's the
Games is a
not
website. It's a web store where you can buy video games that are 100% DRM free. So there's no online
Oh,
connectivity.
right.
You can just buy games. They release those all. You can just download them without any DRM or anything like that. You can just play your games the good old fashioned way, which I think is a really cool pro consumer thing to be doing. So that's boosted them up, actually. I forgot about that. Congratulations, CD Projekt Red. Which is funny, which is why I always think that Cyberpunk, it had to be a fucking misstep, because they do so many things that are kind of pro-consumer, like GOG, like that 10-year roadmap that Kyle mentioned. And then they just fumble the bag once. And it's like, yeah, but you fumbled it pretty hard. Anyway, you get an A. because GOG's pretty fucking sick. Codemasters, they make racing shit, right? Can we just stick them in
I don't
C
know
and
why
call it
this
a
They
is
day?
make
separate
all the
because
F1 games.
it's just under EA anyway.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
C,
sure. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
Deep Silver, fucking
If you
What
need a
else do they make
reminder,
other than Saints Row?
Dead Island
Dead
2.
Island, they've published the Metro games, which I haven't played, but people seem to like. Man-Eater, the game about the shark that eats
Right.
people.
I'm saying they go in C as well. That's a C tier.
Yeah.
I was so tempted to put you in D after what you did to fucking Saints Row last year, but you know, like Lord above. Talk about the most disappointed I've ever been in a video game in the most recent years is Saints Row 2022. Like genuinely, I don't have the guts to play it. As I'm a Saints Row fan and I don't want to know what disappointment is. I bought Gotham Knights for £10. I'm willing to give that a try for £10. Not willing to give Saints Row a try for £10. Because here's the thing. I was always going to be disappointed with Gotham Knights. I had hope for Saints Row at one point. Unacceptable. But, you know, they make things that are fine. Mostly Deep Silver. I like to think Deep Silver as a publisher are games where it's like, hey, when they're in a summer sale for like 50% off for like $15, $20, I'm like,
yeah.
I pick some of their stuff up from time to time when they're in that range.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital.
Oh. I think they're pretty good. Either B or A. They reliably put out each year at least one game that makes it into like my top 10. So, like, they're reliably pretty solid, but there's usually also a swing and a miss somewhere as well. Like last year, there was Cult of the Lamb, but there was also Trek to Yomi, you know, which was just meh. Even it wasn't like horrible or anything. It just wasn't exciting at all.
Yeah, they also had Inscription. That was one of them.
Inscription was really good. People really liked. I don't know why Annapurna's not on this list, but they kind of occupy the same kind of category in my head, where that'd be like B or A, because they reliably just put out at least one very solid, sometimes two very solid games from like the
Lucky
indie
Squire's
space that are
under
really
them.
good. Yeah, Lucky Squire.
I'm going to
Will
say
be really good.
They made Gris.
I'm gonna say B.
Yeah,
High
that's fair.
B. Because they, like I say, they do no 505 getting the low end of B. Devolver Digital is better, but I don't think if we're looking at like Capcom or CD Projekt or like Bandai Namco, Bethesda, there's nothing like I'm like
They're not quite competing with the heavy hitters.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also
'Cause,
think,
like,
and here's the difference,
say-
right? The difference between a Bethesda or a CD Projekt Red and a kind of Capcom compared to a Devolver as a publisher is developers. A lot people go to Devolver and they help them cross the finish line, whereas a lot of the stuff that these guys up at the top are, they're grassroots in it. They're publishing it from day one in a sense, right? Or they're publishing it from extremely early on. So
yeah.
Oh, good. We haven't shat on anybody for a little while. 5 seconds. EA.
Yeah, don't want to get too positive here.
Mm,
I think EA has been doing better in recent years, which I'm sad to say, but
Yeah. The past couple of years, they've been inoffensive to.
'Cause here's the
decent.
thing.
But are they good?
FIFA is still a war crime. Sorry, EAFC is still a war crime.
Really rolls off the tongue these days, doesn't it?
Yeah, nothing sounds better than EAFC. It's still Ultimate Team is still like the biggest like gambling thing that somehow doesn't class as gambling I've ever seen in my life. Like it puts every other loot box system to shame. But
Soccer
outside
fans.
of the sports, like they had their fumbles, right? And they still do have their fumbles with like Battlefield 2042, Star Wars Battlefront 2. They still have those fumbles. But, you know, they've been going out of their way to do stuff like EA Originals with Joseph Fares and It Takes Two and A Way Out.
Unravel was under there.
Unraveled was under them. And then also the stuff that they've been doing with Respawn, where, you know, Apex Legends was a great game. They've let them do the
People
Star Wars
love
Jedi
Apex.
and Survivor.
Star Wars is great.
I
these
still think they're
games anyway.
shitty.
The Dead Space remake was really
Dead
good.
Space
and
re-
could have
I
very much
think
been a
shitty-
cash grab.
I think it's a shitty company that's done good enough to go into D. I think this is like,
Yeah.
I think that Respawn
What a backhanded
Entertainment.
compliment.
Well, they can't all be fucking nice. They can't all be full compliments, Kyle. Especially because they are still shitheads.
Yeah.
But I will say this, EA. Here's my thing, EA. If you
If our-
didn't, if the sports series didn't exist and your executives weren't piles of shit, you could be in like C or B at this point, EA. You're doing all right. Like,
Yeah, it's like one of those things. If our first thought wasn't shockingly not bad, like if the shockingly didn't have that part there, it'd be up a tier or two.
yeah. Anyway, next up, everybody's
Epic
favorite
Games.
Epic Games.
Oh shoot, I didn't even acknowledge this one on the
Get
tier
your
list.
Here's the thing,
Fortnites.
right?
Here's
the thing: is Epic does publish stuff, like they're publishing Alan Wake,
sick.
2.
Yeah, wait, hold on. They're publishing Alan Wake, but somehow that game's cutting the physical versions for
console. Yeah.
budget reasons.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
that's why I knew it was bullshit. So yeah, they're publishing Alan Wake. Obviously, they publish Fortnite. They do Fall Guys. They don't publish much anymore, but they also are the publishers of the Unreal Engine as well. I guess we can technically throw that in. I think they're like a low B.
Doesn't it?
I think they're a low B, right?
It's one of those things where it's a lot of that stuff they have is important but boring.
Yeah,
You know?
it does the job.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. Focus Home Interactive. What the fuck does Focus Home Interactive make?
Well,
They
off the
did
top of my head, they did the Plague Tale games, but I don't.
Okay.
I have to look up the
Plague
rest of
Tale. They did Atomic Heart.
that. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think, was
Farming
a joint from
Simulator.
them.
Call of Cthulhu.
They're publishing Atlas Fallen. I thought Atlas Fallen is
there's
different.
Evil
Video.
West. A lot of it's like these mid-table.
Warhammer Space Marine. Oh, you're already in
Oh,
my bad
God.
books, dude. You're making fucking.
A lot of
Warhammer.
it's this mid-table stuff, for the most part.
So we're saying B again, right? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah,
Are we going with a B or a
B.
C?
Because like Warhammer
I'd go with C.
Warhammer repels me on like a spiritual level, but I
Okay,
also
so
don't know
C it is.
intellectually
I
if
see. I
those
see
games
it
are
is.
any good. I was going to say the second part of that was I really liked the Plague Tale games though.
Yeah. Fair enough. Koei Tecmo. Why? Like, here's the thing with Koei Tecmo, right? Is they make the same game over and over and over again, and then sometimes
Yeah,
it's
but also
fine.
Isn't like Team Ninja under them with like Neo and that stuff?
Yeah. So it's like, I know for Dynasty Warriors is under Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But,
Ninja Gaiden falls under them. Neo, Dead or Alive.
exactly.
Atelier Ryza is
Mhm.
under them. Project Zero, Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Monster Rancher, Fatal Frame. I've heard good things about Fatal Frame.
Well,
Didn't
I've
realize
heard
that
good
was
things
them.
about good things about a classic Fatal Frame. I haven't heard like sterling reviews from the Wii U.
It's a lot
editions
of
those
right.
games.
Here's the thing with them, right? Is I don't Dead or Alive. Hell yeah, Neo. Oh, they do Neo.
Yeah,
Here's
that's
the
what I
thing
thought.
about them, right? And I don't want to anger the weebs, right? But they do kind of just publish a load of the lesser weeb games. And what I mean by that is it's like, it's not your stuff that the normies are gonna go, oh yeah, it's time, right? It's not on that level. It's your Atelier games where it's like, you're gonna be a JRPG fan if you're playing something like that. Or your Dynasty Warriors games, you're gonna be really into your history. Like, you're gonna be an Eastern history buff if you like that kind of stuff, right? And stuff that they do make that is more based on mainstream IP, like Hyrule Warriors, or Fire Emblem Warriors, or Persona Strikers.
That's all off of the back of the IP that they've got.
And they're hit
though,
and
that people
miss.
Care.
They're not always great. Like Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes, people liked, but the original Fire Emblem Warriors people didn't. It was the opposite way around, where the original Hyrule Warriors is considered incredible, and then Age of Calamity is kind of fine. Strikers is good, but it goes on for way too long. It's like, again, I'd put them in C, probably.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Sounds right.
above 2K.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go high C for them.
Yeah,
My favorite juice.
Konami. Konami, Konami,
mm.
Konami.
How the mighty have fallen.
You're trying to get back in the good books, but I don't know how well
They
that's
still haven't
working.
done any of that yet, so I'd be willing to say F.
Really?
With Activision,
I don't think they're that bad. I was gonna
they
say
could go with
B.
EA if
E?
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because like they had very public, horrible treatment of their people who worked there as well.
Oh,
It's not
shit.
quite on the. It's
I
not
haven't
quite
heard
on the
about that.
level of
True
the
Kojima.
well, besides Kojima, just general employees there were treated really poorly, and it was publicized back when all that stuff with Kojima was publicized. Like, working there wasn't great. So
Fine.
you know,
EA
there's that.
is.
Mm.
You win. Fine.
They decided to give their horror remake for Silent Hill 2 to Bloober Team, which is a horrific offense. They made Metal Gear Survive, which is a war crime in its own.
We get it. They're in E. It's okay, Hunter. It's
They
okay.
own Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, okay. Fucking hell. I'm done with F now. I'm decided on
there you
yeah. We'll keep them in E for now. We can do a final rearrange if we need to. Nintendo.
Nintendo.
I don't want to be that guy. But they make shite. But also, it's like
But they
People-
also make generational classics.
with everyone's bored
Yeah.
of the Switch, but you can't deny that the Switch generation is probably one of Nintendo's strongest eras of video games in terms of like what they've made. Two Game of the Year contender Zeldas, one of the best 3D Mario platformers in my opinion. The whole Xenoblade trilogy got either released or re-released on that platform, you know. Luigi's Mansion 3 people really liked quite a bit. Fire Emblem Three
here's
Houses
the thing:
people
if
really
you're someone
liked a
who
lot.
only plays Nintendo games, I feel like they probably have a more sterling opinion of this Switch generation than someone like you or me with the benefit of options has.
Yeah.
You know, like Nintendo does a good job at servicing their audience. It's just not necessarily always
think-
pulling the people who aren't always playing Nintendo to them.
I have the opinion of if you are a person that solely plays games on a Nintendo console, you don't get anything else, you don't play on PC. The Nintendo Switch is the best generation Nintendo has ever had because of third-party support. You can play. When I think of my top 5 favorite video games of all time, and it's like you can play like 3 of them on the Nintendo Switch, or maybe more. I'm trying to think off the top of my head because it's like before it was like, oh yeah, you can't play Persona 5. Well, now you can play Persona 5, so that's on there. Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch exclusive. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's like so many games have been
The
ported
two
now where it's like-
predecessors of those games as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, you know,
like it's crazy.
Nier
to me.
Automata's on there now.
Nier Automata on the Switch. I hate it's cliche, I know, and they do make some stinkers. Everybody's 1-2 Switch has been out for less than a month, and it's already on sale in the UK for half price, so you can tell that that's going well. But it's like
Nintendo games never go on sale.
unless they're shit. But yeah, like they do make some stinkers, but you've got to admit this when they do make something good, it genuinely is considered either a game of the year
It's some
or
of
a
the
genre.
best things ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to go in S tier. I fucking hate
Yeah.
being cliche. And me from like 10 years ago would kill me because it's like Nintendo's not that
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I didn't think the Nintendo hater of our group would say Nintendo and S tier.
I'm not a Nintendo hater, okay? I like a lot of Nintendo. I just think a lot of it is also overhyped. You cannot tell me that people are genuinely excited for that Princess Peach game where all they showed was her on a stage. You cannot, like, genuinely. I'm like, can we see the game, please?
I would like to see more of it, yes.
Yeah. Could it be great? Yeah, could be great.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Paradox Interactive. What the fuck do they make?
Oh, shoot. I don't even know who these
Plugging.
guys are.
Back
Is
to
this
the
an
lab
RTS
again.
studio?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're from Sweden.
Okay.
Oh, and they
Can't
make
really-
board games too. That's neat.
Ah, cool.
Let's see
Oh,
here.
City Skylines, Hearts of
Oh,
Iron.
this
Age of
Those games.
Wonders.
Yeah, a load of PC games. Star.
I don't
Right.
play
City
any of this stuff,
Skylines.
so like, see, I
Okay,
can't
that's what.
say,
Yeah,
I
if we
can't
don't
say
know
if
it,
they're horrible or not. So
Yeah, they seem
see.
inoffensive.
there. C, and just because we don't want to offend PC fans too much, we'll put them above 2K. Just
Sick.
so middle of C, just for fair balance and order. Rockstar Games.
Rockstar.
Hear me out. It's gotta be a fucking S tier. I don't care. Like again, you Hunter, you're looking like that. You're looking like that. But again, what like other than the Rockstar trilogy bullshit collection that came out shite a couple of years ago, like again, every time they release a game, it is a genre-defining game. Yeah, they might only do it once a decade nowadays.
Yeah,
but,
that's
you
the
know.
problem. Is in the amount of time we got Breath of the Wild, we got and okay,
9
Breath of the Wild.
copies of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, that's not what I mean. I mean, Breath of the Wild came out, Red Dead came out the next year. We've had Tears of the Kingdom since then. We're not getting
GTA 4
something
might be GTA 6 might be next year, Hunter. You never know. It might be the same kind of time
I don't think it
period.
will be.
Here's the thing, right? Is again, yes, they only release one game every fucking generation at this point. But I can't not say that when I play a Rockstar game, it's not one of the best games I've ever played. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the best games I've ever played. GTA 5, even though I didn't care for the story too much, is one of the best games I've ever played. I every time they release a banger, that they made a shitty port. Red Dead Redemption 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game, right? It's like they are a genre, they're generation defining every single time. Is it to a detriment when when they do stuff that they don't need to do, like horses pooping realistically? Yes, it's fucking stupid. But, it's like they are just one of those people. They defy a generation. Genuinely do. They never make a shit new game. They just do a shitty remaster. And to be honest, so does everybody here. They've all done a shitty remaster at one point or another.
That's true. Fair enough.
Because I'm also thinking, realistically, I don't see anybody, maybe one person else, getting close to even S tier on this list that's remaining. We'll talk about it. Sega. Fucking Sega.
Oh boy.
I'm not willing to go higher than a B. Because here's the thing, right? They make a load of good stuff.
Yeah.
Atlas is under Sega, so they get the Persona points from Ethan. They get the Persona buys from Ethan. They get the Persona
Persona's
points.
great.
Congratulations. SMT also great. Congratulations.
Yakuza.
Oh, fuck, they have Yakuza.
They do have Yakuza, which I've not played, but I hear lovely things about.
Fuck,
They've
okay,
got
now...
Samba de Amigo.
Oh, fuck, not Samba Day. Okay, they're an A tier then. They gotta be.
I really like.
They're S tier.
I really like Valkyria Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Fantasy
they make too much. They're an A tier, dude.
Oh, yeah.
they make too much good
Are you about to
shit.
base this can't go above B off of Sonic being mediocre for generations?
Yeah.
Like, Sega does more than Sonic these days.
I was like, Sonic shy, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, they make some fantastic good games. God damn
No,
it.
wait, everything around Sonic is really good, though.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh well. Sony Interactive Entertainment.
This is one of those cases of God. They make good games, but God, I really wish I had to quit. I could quit hearing about every corporate decision or word that comes out of their mouth.
Here's the thing, right? We gushed over Spider-Man. We gushed over modern Sony. I may not like where Sony is currently as a company, as how they're handling the PS5. Do we need a PS5 Pro? No, we don't need a PS5 Pro. Do we need a stupid PS5 controller with a Wii U gamepad in the middle of it? No, we fucking don't. Why are we getting that? And it's like, it feels like they're very much just like, hey guys, we're doing stuff that's just sequel after sequel, and we're bringing IP back so we can make a shitty Peacock series starring Anthony Mackie. Like, it's like, this is what we're doing here.
They won't even give us a game for it.
Yeah, because it's in development. It's taken too long. It'll be out by the time that the show's been cancelled and no one gives a shit. Perfect timing. But it's like...
Can't wait for the Will
the
Arnett
last
DLC
game,
of
the last
game.
game that Sony released that was technically mid that I can recall is Destruction All Stars.
Yeah.
And if we're not counting that, because everyone wants to forget, it was probably Days Gone.
Which is better than it got credit for.
They're either high A. I feel like they're a high A at least.
Yeah.
It's mainly.
I hate Jim Ryan.
Yeah.
But they haven't done anything too horrible yet. You know? Or at least not horrible enough to make me not like their games.
It's hard, man. It's hard. Because it's like, yeah, they make some brilliant games. But also, you know, God of War Ragnarok, great game. Horizon Forbidden West last year, great game. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, fantastic game. Astro's Playroom, fantastic. Demon's Souls remake is a really good remake. They make some really solid stuff. Like, I'd put them at the top of A. That's where I'd put them right now. It's just, for S tier, it's like, if this was 5 years ago, if we were talking 2018 Sony,
yeah,
I'd put them in S tier.
Yeah.
Because they were just...
We'd have all of this nice stuff that we just listed to look forward to, instead of live service multiplayer nonsense to look forward to.
It's A, because they still haven't proved what the fuck is after Spider-Man, other than live service garbage.
There's a big old question mark.
And all the stuff that is announced, I'm like, it's questionable. And honestly, it's like, I'd be even considering moving them all the way down to like below Sega if Insomniac wasn't fucking holding up most of the fucking weight here. Because that's what they're doing recently.
Insomniac is the MVP of PlayStation.
In the time that it's took Naughty Dog, taken Naughty Dog to release a port of the fucking redo of The Last of Us 1, Insomniac managed to pull out a remastered PS5 version of Spider-Man PS5. So they did the same fucking thing that they just did with The Last of Us Part 1. They then released Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and will have Spider-Man out before Naughty Dog has even conceived what the fuck Factions
multiplayer game, yeah.
Because they can't figure it out.
Wolverine might even be out before that comes out.
High chance, right?
It'd be funny if Insomniac's next game was a multiplayer game just to dance on the grave.
I honestly think you have an extremely high chance of Ghost of Tsushima 2 coming out before Naughty Dog's next project comes out.
Probably,
genuinely. And it's like, they'll have had the same amount of time, and Naughty Dog's a bigger studio. And technically, Naughty Dog's known for making linear games, which shouldn't necessarily take as long
as Ghost, you know?
But, like,
it's funny.
My God. Anyway, high A. We'll reevaluate where you go later. Square. Fucking Square. Here's the thing with Square Enix. For every great game, they release 6 shit games. That's the thing with Square. Is for every FF16, you get a Babylon's Fall. You get a Balan Wonderworld. You get a Chocobo GP. And even... Yeah, a Forspoken. And even when they're not garbage, you get a Stranger of Paradise where you go, why did they give people money to make this? It's funny, but why? There's so much garbage.
One thing that I will give to Square Enix, like, I've aired my grievances about them as a company a lot on this show, but one thing I think that they do very well is preserving their old content and keeping it readily available, which is something that a lot of other companies on this list just don't do.
Yeah.
And it's like,
most
here's
of the Final Fantasy series is easily attainable,
all except for the 13
unless
trilogy,
it's starring Lightning Farron.
Yeah,
the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, except for the shit ones, but they're in video form, are available on modern consoles. They do a lot of stuff like that.
Anyway,
I still think they make enough shit for me to chuck them in B.
Yeah, I was also thinking reasonable. B.
Like high B.
Yeah.
But like, it's because they do make so much shite, and also it's like again, we've got 16, we've got 7 Rebirth, and we've got Kingdom Hearts, and it's like, again, similar to Sony, we don't have a pipeline, right? We have Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is definitely coming out next year, probably in the first half, hopefully,
Hmm.
and then Kingdom Hearts 4, which at this rate, I don't even think there was a part of me that used to
The
always
thing
think
about
that
Square
Kingdom Hearts
Enix
4 would be next year, but it might not be at this
seems to
rate.
be that a lot of their upcoming stuff will be a mystery until like the year before it's going to come out. We didn't know
But
about
recently, it
Octopath 2
hasn't been,
until
if that makes sense.
the year or the end of last year.
Yeah. We
We
learned
didn't know
about
about
Octo
Triangle
2 in
Strategy
September, and then it
until
got
the
released
year
in
before.
February.
Yeah, but then it's also like they have like, 16 we've known about since 2020, right? It's like we've
Yeah.
known about 16 for a long time. We've known about 7 Rebirth for a long time, even before it was announced, because we knew that they were going to make more, right? And it's like we can say
Yeah.
the same thing. Well, you can go, well, actually, then you can say that Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 is coming. I'm like, fuck off, right? But it's like, other than Kingdom Hearts
Actually,
4, we don't know anything long term from Square. And like I said, we don't know when
I
Kingdom
mean,
Hearts 4 is even
no.
coming out. Maybe next
Yeah.
year?
Do they have long-term things to look forward? Like ever have they had long-term things to look forward to besides Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy? I've never
No,
been
which is
looking
why
to the
Final
future.
Fantasy Versus 13.
I've never been looking to the future salivating over like the last remnant or whatever.
But this
it
is
was
why I
back in the
feel
PS3.
this is why I feel like Square needs to diversify a bit more, because I feel
Mhm.
like, especially after they have sold off Eidos and Crystal Dynamics, now they don't have these other things that would, when there was a light year, there was no Final Fantasy coming out or no Kingdom Hearts or nothing else of that sort. They had stuff like Tomb Raider. They had other things that were coming out. Now they just have these developers, which is why I'm
Is
scared
Life
of
is
them being
Strange still
acquired, because
on?
yeah, maybe. I really hope the rumor is that Deck 9 is working on a new Life is Strange game, but
Oh,
also
that's sick.
water's wet, so
Yeah, but I was just wondering about the state of that particular series after they sold every Western thing there.
they still own it.
Oh, cool.
And I still think they're planning on making it, because I mean
Oh, that's
that
good.
series seems to print money, which is funny
Yeah.
to me,
Like,
because it's kind of
I
bizarre.
think the yield for profit compared to what it would cost to make, comparatively to like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts or something is probably pretty good.
Oh, 100%, right? I mean, it probably costs way less. And
still
also,
makes
I
quite a
think
bit.
the thing is, right, is Life is Strange 1 was such a hit that I just think they'll make another one, and they'll make another one, just to keep promoting that back catalogue of Life is Strange games, to be
Yeah,
honest, because
eventually,
it's like,
every time you make a new one, you can just also use it as an excuse to say, go play the other one.
and I'm and I'm still scared that I feel like at one point they're going to try and go back to Arcadia Bay or do something else, and I'm like,
I hope not.
please don't.
Leave it
Or if
alone.
you do, please be respectful and don't do a Square Enix. Like, I'm fine if you want to touch
Yeah,
because they did it with True Colors, right, where they brought characters back, and it's like, I'm fine with you doing that.
Yeah,
I just want something new. I don't want to retread. I also don't want a shitty remaster. Like, you could have remade Life is Strange 1 instead of doing a really shitty port that didn't need it.
Like, I would love a Life is Strange 1 with like the new animation tech that they had for True Colors,
Which
and
they were
whatnot,
supposed
that
to do with the remastered collection, and you
Oh,
can
that
tell
would've been-
slightly the
that would've
animations
been
are
great.
better, but it's buggy. It's so buggy that it's not worth trading it, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Also, like, it'd be harder to implement that if it wasn't designed. If like a lot of the scenes with True Colors were designed around being able to
they
do
were all
more than
facial
just
captured,
pan
weren't
back
they?
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, anyway, high B for Square Enix. Please make another Life is Strange. Please release Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm bored and I need something to laugh at. Thank you.
Give us some news on Dragon Quest 3 remake.
And Dragon Quest
Or
12.
Dragon Quest
Where the fuck is
12.
that?
Where the fuck are those, Square Enix?
I guess those are things to look forward to in the future, because they're never coming out. What will come out first, Dragon Quest 12 or Kingdom Hearts 4? I honestly, bold assumption,
Kingdom
I'm
Hearts
actually going to
4.
put money on Kingdom Hearts 4 here. I think Nomura's got that in the bag.
We've had a little
We've
bit
seen more
We've
about
seen
that.
more of it.
I also think that, in my opinion, the latest we're getting Kingdom Hearts 4 is January 2025. Like, that is latest. I'm like, that is latest. Especially if 7 Remake is coming out in January next year or March next year, where it'll probably delay to. Like,
it would make a lot of sense for it to be hitting the year after. I think it would work
either the
pretty
year
well.
after or late. But here's the thing, Hunter, is I thought they would have done a whole year gap between 16 and 7 Remake Part 2. They're not. So never trust Square Enix. For all we know, it could be out in April next year. You don't trust them.
I don't know. I think as far as they're concerned, they're like, oh, the year's ended. It's good enough.
I think Square Enix is just like, games come out when we want money, which is always. So
yeah.
Anyway, THQ Nordic. Fucking get me in here, dude. Get me, fucking roll my sleeves up, THQ Nordic. You make so much shit. It's unreal.
I'm like, where's he going with this?
THQ Nordic is like bargain bin shite, dude. Like, there's so much bargain bin. I don't mean, like, no offense, but I've never seen I've sat through so many shitty fucking presentations from THQ Nordic where they're like, guys, I hope you're ready for SpongeBob SquarePants. We spent $20 on this video game. Please pre-order now. And
the annoying thing is that like some of the
it.
IP they own is good too, and they just haven't done anything with that. Like I would love an entry point into the legacy of Kane games that they own now, but you know, they're not doing that as far as I'm aware.
They just make shitty remakes of old games that aren't as good as the originals, and just like the most fucking mediocre. Well, they publish the most mediocre shit. Like
Deep Silver is in the same conglomerate, you know.
Like, the only thing that they have that they can say, the only positives that I can give them is apparently at some point they published Broken Age at one point and Ori and the Blind Forest, and these were both these were both games that came out millions of years ago. So it's like can't even give them that. Like,
one of their remasters that I got that was okay was Kingdoms of Amalur, you know, but like
yeah,
it was fine when I played it a while ago, and so it was fine now, you know.
I just think that, like I say, it's just bargain. Like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Fuck off. like mobile game develop, like mobile game.
That kind of bargain. Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't being. I know it sounded harsh, but
it's maybe someday I'll have at least some decent stuff to bring the bargain bin up. Like now, what Crystal is under them, and all of the Western studios that Square sold, I think, have been bought by Nordic.
Yeah.
So, like, someday they'll have actually like good games that are not remastered on their catalog, you know. Yeah. Eventually, hopefully, you know, but it's not the case now.
But for now, C or D?
I think there's a clear divide between the C and the D tier.
Then C it is. You can go next to Deep Silver and think.
Like, are they EA levels of bad, or are they just regular bad?
Ubisoft. Woo, we love Ubisoft. Recently in the news, for if you have an inactive Ubisoft account, your Ubisoft account gets deleted along with the games you bought on that Ubisoft account. Good job, Ubisoft. Wow. What a great one.
That's a good start.
Here's the thing. D.
You go first. Yeah, D. That's where I was going.
Above EA.
Yeah. Above EA.
Yes, because they don't have a war crime like FIFA, but they're close.
That's
like
fair.
they make they make threats.
Every time they've almost done it, I think they've been bullied out of it. Like the Ubisoft courts nonsense, I don't think they're doing anymore.
And here's the thing, right? Is Ubisoft has made good games in the past. I still have faith that they will make a good game in the future. It's just they just make mediocre. Like Assassin's Creed is at a slump at the moment. Far Cry has been in a slump since Far Cry 5 came out, and they're just falling down the track, right? That Avatar game, who fucking
It's going to be a slump. There's going to be the video game version of a slump personified.
I don't know what they're expecting. I feel like they're expecting everybody that went to watch Avatar at the box office wants to play a video game of it.
And I think they're stupid.
Yeah.
Because most people that play video games probably didn't bother with the Avatar thing, or probably not most people, but a lot of people probably didn't.
100%. But yeah, I, I have hope, but it never gets achieved. Make another Rayman game, please, for the love of anything. Give us another
That's
2D
all we're
Rayman.
asking for.
Give us another 2D Rayman and make Assassin's
Legends was
Creed not
really
shit
good.
again, please. That'd be
It's
wonderful.
also pretty poor treatment of their employees. People were
True.
like, a mass exodus was how it was described a while back.
Yeah, which is why they stay in D with the rest of them,
Yeah.
with the D and below, whether with the rest of the criminals. Off they go.
Like I said, the clear divide in the tier list right now. Did you treat your employees like shit?
Or have
Or
you been
didn't
really
you?
scummy?
Which half of the tier list do you want to go on?
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a final tier that just says war crimes below, and there we go. So that there's a clear segregation between the rest of them. That's perfect right there. The war crimes are below. Anyway, Valve.
Valve.
I
They're
don't
pretty
even know
cool,
how,
but they don't
like,
do
they
much.
don't
Truly.
do anything anymore, but they
But
own
the stuff they've
Steam.
done is really good.
Recently,
Portal
the
2
only
is
thing
one
I
of the
can
best
think of is
games of all
Half-Life
time.
Alyx,
yeah.
which is probably the best VR game ever made.
Currently, yeah.
Portal 1 and 2 are two of the best games ever made. Team Fortress 2
Team
is one of the
Fortress,
best
yeah.
first-person shooters ever made. CS:GO is also one of the best first-person shooters ever made. Here's the thing.
Left 4
it-
Dead.
Forget that
Dota
that's
2, here's the thing, right? Is this is what we can do. We can either put them in S because they have made generation defining games, or we can put them in A and say that you've made generation defining games. You just slowed the fuck down, and we need more video games from you. It's up to you where you want to start.
Yeah, like all of these things were, barring the VR game, have been over a decade ago at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we give them the Rockstar treatment?
Do we give them the
Of-
Rockstar treatment of when they make
They
a game,
made
it is
games.
probably going to be one of the best games in that genre ever made?
There's also the question, we know Rockstar is going to make another video game. Who knows with Valve? It's a mystery.
Yeah, that's true.
Steam Deck's also pretty cool though when you think.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm going to give them bumps them up on the back of a machine that I don't own.
Well, I mean, we bumped Sony down because of the stupid tablet.
It isn't out yet. That's the thing, is I own their stuff and
Hey.
won't buy that because it's stupid. There's a difference.
I feel like it's like, here's the thing, is like I say that like Valve games, they don't make them often, but they are like Portal 2 is one of my favorite games ever made, and I'm not even a fan of
Hard to
PC
argue
games.
with.
Like,
Yeah.
I just played it and went, wow, that's one of the best games I've ever played. Like,
One of the most well-written games ever made.
Hmm.
and you know, Half-Life is Half-Life 2, best game, like some of the best games ever made. Fucking TF2, I fucking adore that game. It's fantastic. CS:GO, I
most
haven't
fun I've
played
had
much
with
of CS:GO, but it is a fantastic video game. Dota, haven't played, but people really like Dota.
And there's also Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
I'm fucking kidding. I'm putting them in S. They're
S.
in S. They're in
Yeah.
S.
Fair enough.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
Valve. If we do this again next year
It's a
or
generous
whenever,
S.
well, we're fucking coming back to that one. You better release something. And it better start with P and end in Ortal 3. Thank you very much.
It better,
WB.
yeah.
Something not in VR would be ideal.
Dude,
WB.
actually, no. Even if they could make a Portal game work in VR, that would get me to get a VR machine.
I'd
Good
buy a
God,
VR
that would make-
headset for Fallen VR.
I'd try it, but man, I'm getting motion sick just thinking about it.
Well, I've
It would
said
be
this
so
before.
cool if they could
I've
make
said
it
this
work, though.
before.
Imagine.
It would be cool.
It would be
All
worth
I
the price of
need-
admission.
It would be very cool.
All I need to buy a PSVR 2 is one, a price drop, and two, Half-Life Alyx. If those two things come true, PSVR 2 is for you. And by you, I mean me. I will buy one. Thank you.
It's just right now the PSVR 2 costs the same amount as the console you need to play it on.
And the games are poo-poo.
So the price of admission isn't very friendly.
No, not at all. Anyway, WB
Especially
Games.
if you don't already have it. Yeah, there's a segment of the tier list that has the same abbreviation. War crimes below.
For God's sake. I mean, it's true, but here's the thing. is wait, hang on. What's WB's war crime?
Gotham Knights.
It wasn't that bad. It was like a 60.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
True.
It isn't out yet, but their last good game.
There's a
like,
reason why, Hunter.
parking aside my bias against the most recent Mortal Kombat games, Mortal Kombat 11 that came out in 2019 was the last decent thing they made.
So you think they deserve to go with Ubisoft? Because here's the thing, right?
How do they treat their employees?
Here's the thing, right? I've heard nothing bad from Warner Brothers, and if anything, I've heard that, especially with the situation regarding that magical video game that came out this year, they were very supportive of the people that were working on it in terms of, but also I also heard that people around that game, some of the heads also leaned in the opposite direction, but you can't fucking criticize people for just having political beliefs.
Bring it back to the Mortal Kombat thing. They also, made their employees watch actual gore videos.
You know what? Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Actually,
true, but was that Warner Brothers or was that the dev?
Yeah, was it Ed?
Was it
Ed
fucking
Boon.
Ed just being a weirdo? Because that's the thing, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I don't think Warner
That
Brothers.
might be more of an Ed thing.
I'm not sure.
WB
I'm
thing.
not sure which crimes we're holding accountable for what now.
Well, it's like, here's the thing, right? Watching what the difference is, right? Is we've got literal people who I don't know what words to say because I don't know what's gonna get us fucking blacklisted from YouTube, right? But we've got people who have done some shady shit at Ubisoft and EA, and then we've got people that watched a lot. They forced people to watch a lot of gore at Warner Brothers, and I'm like, I don't know if it's fair to put them in the same category.
All right, fine. Low end of C. Like I said, their last passable game was Mortal Kombat 11.
I agree.
I didn't even like that one.
I agree, but we've made the line we can't cross anymore. That's
why
the
I said
problem.
low C. Isn't that the bottom of the?
Yeah, I know it is, but this is the problem: is they are probably D tier, but D tier means committing crimes at this point.
We just
We're
put them on
screwed.
the line.
This is the most. This is the stupidest tier list we've done yet.
And moved the rest of them down to E.
This is so stupid. We literally have got fucking normal devs up to. We've got normal devs up to a point, and then we've got literal crimes. Like this isn't even like a Jeff Keighley joke, Hunter. This is we're literally ranking crimes.
Oh, Hunter, when you pitched this idea, I was worried.
This is great,
but this is really funny.
Fucking hell.
Oh
my god.
So,
anyway,
like I said, we can either bump all the criminals down one more tier and put WB and D where the quality of their games reflects, or we can just keep them at the end of C.
I think just have them teetering on war crimes, like put them in the war crimes tier.
It's not an actual tier, it's just
they're the barometer.
Oh, for God's sake, right.
Or we can just move on and talk about Xbox Game Studios.
Becoming E. No,
oh my God.
Becoming F. And the fucking final one can just be Activision. They deserve their own bloody section.
Bobby Kotick.
And then we need to add a fucking don't swap you. I hate this shit. Look what you've made.
Hunter what he wanted.
Add a row below. Not there. That's above. Fucking hell. D. D
Cool.
can be that. Can be grey. For the fucking feeling inside my heart. Fucking grey. Perfect.
Damn.
And Warner Bros. Can go there. And C's looking a bit fat, so we might move some fuckers in there as we do a little rejig at the end. Right.
Cool.
Final one, Xbox Game Studios.
I don't know. You own the console. Off
B.
Yeah, initial knee jerk B.
I was gonna
Here's the
say low A just because of all the acquisitions they've been making. They haven't had a lot of
Oh,
games in the past few years, but
so on
that's
one hand, yeah, they have a whole lot of studios, but on the other hand, I don't like consolidation, so that's not really a point in their favor.
you know what?
Well, here's the thing,
Um,
right? Is they have got a lot of games coming, but it's like they have no
Yeah.
proof yet. Starfield is the
they've
proof.
had games coming for in a whole
I think High
generation.
B is fair because they do
Yeah.
like Forza Horizon 5 is one of the best racing games I've ever played. It's a very, very,
Hi-Fi
very
Rush
good
is one of the best games of
video
this
game.
year.
Hi-Fi Rush is one of the best games of this year. Very, very good. They're starting to prove it. I'd stick them in B. I'd put them above Square Enix because they like Redfall technically counts as Bethesda, so good job.
Dodged a bullet there.
Dodged a bullet there, right?
Yeah, but so does Hi-Fi Rush. It balances
Hi-Fi
out.
Rush also. Oh yeah, fucking
Ah,
back
shoot.
down you
Right.
go. No, but
Uh,
you know they've got some promising studios and some promising stuff. It's just they've yet to prove it, right?
yeah. It's like every so often, Xbox will get a thing, and I'll be like, oh, kind of sad I can't play that. And then I
Yeah.
find a way to play it anyway.
But currently, like you say, on so far in this generation, all it has really been is Forza 5, Halo, which was not very well
People
received in the end,
don't like.
and then Psychonauts 2, which still came out on PlayStation because it was pre-acquisition, but it still came out under the Xbox Game Studios logo. That always makes me laugh. If you boot Psychonauts 2 up on PS4, it does start with an Xbox Game Studios logo on it. It's just like, same if you buy MLB on Xbox, it comes up with PlayStation Studios. It does the PlayStation Studios animation.
that's
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. They've yet to prove it. They will one day, I believe. I think next year is their year, to be honest. Well, I think Starfield's the start. And we'll see where they go from there. Starfield. So here we
What
are.
a journey this has been.
This has
What
been a
an
journey.
What an adventure.
It's that bit.
I
It's
feel
been
like
that
we've learned
big
a
a
lot.
journey. It's been that big a journey. The whole fucking tier list doesn't fit on the screen, so I have to scroll now. This is fun.
Go
So
team.
we'll read out everything, and final call. If you want to wager a move, it's your final chance. In S tier, we have Nintendo, Rockstar, and Valve. Is everyone fine with that? I think we're all fine with that. Cool. In A, we have Sony, Capcom, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, CD Projekt Red, and Sega. Sega feels weird to me, but they do make like fucking
They had a lot
Rio,
more stuff than I thought they did.
Yeah, Ryoga Kataro and Atlas and everybody else is basically just holding them fucking up. Congratulations. In B, Square Enix, Xbox Game Studios, Devolver Digital, 505, and Epic. Are we being too kind to 505 here?
I've already forgotten what they do, so maybe.
I remember you being impressed by the list of games that we read out.
Yeah, but that's like an hour ago, Hunter. I've already forgotten.
I've already forgotten.
Fucking hell. Am I really gonna look up 505 games again for the second time?
Oh yeah, Terraria, Death Stranding, Ghost Runner, Control. Like that's the 4 games that show up. How's that sound, Ethan?
Yeah, fine. They can stay.
Yeah, they can stay.
C, Focus Home, Koei Tecmo, Paradox Interactive, 2K, Codemasters, Deep Silver, and THQ Nordic. I'm willing to bump THQ Nordic into the Warner Brothers category. Now that we've
uncriminal that one.
Yeah,
we can.
So yeah, I am above fucking Deep Silver. Fine.
Wait, hold on. Deep Silver is with they're like under the same people.
You're right. We can't mistreat them. You're getting D as well. Fuck you. Make a good Saints Row, then you can go back up. So anyway, C is now Focus Home, Koei Tecmo, Paradox 2K, and Codemasters. D is Deep Silver, THQ Nordic, Warner Bros. Games, and then segregated from the rest in the War Crimes category, in the E tier, Ubisoft and EA, in the F tier, Konami and Blizzard, and then in the Activision tier, Activision. Wonderful. Good job, everybody.
Fire Bobby Kotick.
Fire Bobby
Kotick.
make you a murky purple. So there we go. There is our
So
tier
no one
list.
can read it.
This is perfect, actually, because no one can read it, and Activision's cut off from the bottom. So on the screen, there you go. You can see everyone
Incredible.
bar Activision. Perfect.
Sick. We did our job right.
Just as God intended.
But what do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Let us know, because I already have forgotten what we did.
And we won't read it.
I've already forgotten where we put everything. What does 505 make again? I don't remember. Oh, what a flipping train wreck that was,
What
eh?
an episode.
Damn. What a...
Great.
This was a lot of fun.
I was worried that a lot of this was going to just be, oh, haven't played, no opinion, move on.
That's what I thought too.
It turned out better than I thought it would.
And it was
That
for the
was some of
start.
it.
Here's the thing is, right? This is gonna if you
This
made
started
it this
off
far,
really bad.
if you've made it this far, congratulations, because you've been on a fucking journey. Because here's the thing, right? Is that I can tell you that retention, as soon as we go through that what's 505 thing, everyone's going to be like, oh God, like start skipping through to the part where we start caring again. But my God.
Well, I mean, right after that, we have Activision when we, tell Bobby Kotick to drink poison. So
Oh yeah. Well, no, I know I did
In
not say that.
Minecraft.
That is that in
I
Minecraft.
should have
In
said that.
Minecraft. No, in Minecraft.
yeah.
Good lord.
Hey, it's not a crime to suggest something.
In Minecraft.
Womp.
In Fortnite. I hope Bobby Kotick does not get a chug jug in Fortnite. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But yeah, it's
So
been
true,
fun. It's been a
Benji.
bizarre
I
one.
understood all those words.
The funny thing is, I don't even know if I understood what I said either. Anyway, that's it, I guess. That's our episode. Links are on screen now. Hey, it worked. You can go follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with everything we do outside of the podcast. Yeah, we've got a couple of weeks right now where, it's getting a bit quiet. Nothing's really happening.
Yeah, it's up in
We're
the
going to
air.
talk about little bits and pieces.
Maybe
If
when
you
these
have...
silly geese finish Final Fantasy, we'll do a spoiler cast.
Oh, for God. So that requires me remembering what's happened so far, dude. Like that's a challenge. I'm like,
He's got
how
to play
far am I?
Peppa Pig first.
I've got to play Peppa Pig first. No, I'm finishing Final Fantasy before I play Peppa Pig. I've got to get through my chores before I get the dessert, Kyle. God. No, I love Final Fantasy 16. I think it's great. I think the characters are fantastic. It's just the
it's so
second
good,
half
man.
does sure know how to put the handbrake on and just watch as we fucking stall. Because my God, there's one scene in particular which I don't know if you're there yet, Kyle. You might
Probably
be,
not.
but
Last
there's
I
a bit.
heard, you
I
guys
just
There's a
got
bit-
Titan.
hours.
Oh, you just got Titan.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
Just
I didn't
the
see
powers,
anything.
too,
and I didn't
right?
see anything after that.
No, so you've been through that part. You've been through that one part where you gotta go and fucking deal with the guys. Like he's like, you need to solve my problem in this village before I let you pass, and then you have to fucking piss about with your uncle for fucking 30 minutes as you walk around everywhere trying to get out.
Oh,
Oh,
right,
that sounds
that one.
stupid.
Oh, have you
Yeah,
not?
but Uncle Byron's great.
Oh, you
so
haven't
I
done that
like-
yet. There's a bit like
No,
that.
I haven't done that yet.
No, because I
I
always
like
forget
walking
because the
around with
Titan
him.
bit's so whack. Yeah. So
Well,
there's
thanks
that
for
bit.
telling me I'm not gonna like the next part of this
No,
video
that
game.
bit's more
get
entertaining
over it.
because the uncle's there, so he's fine.
Yeah,
But then there's a
Uncle's
bit
great.
later where you go to another village and it's like, hello, would you like to do this random bullshit for half an hour before you pass? And I didn't
I
like that
said
bit.
no.
That bit smelled. And now I'm on a further bit where I'm back at base and it's like, oh, you see, guys, we need your help. Here's 3 places. Please fix our shit. And I'm like, no. Stop it. Stop making me do the
I love
side
mandatory
quest.
side quests.
Yeah, but then the thing goes like this. It's like, here's a main quest that is obviously a side quest, and then a little ding goes off, and it's like, and here's
Oh,
some
like 7
side quests to go with your
Dude,
side quest.
I
Like,
thought for sure that, like, the break I got for 4th of July, I was going to be able to finish Final Fantasy 16 before, but because I had already been doing all the side quests, I got the last batch of side quests when the night I would have been finishing the game. So it took me the day after I went back to work to do it, or the day I went back to work to finish the game, and I was like, oh,
Dude,
I shake.
I was
my fist
hoping
at
that I was
you.
going to be done with it by the end of this weekend. Computer died. Lost 2 nights of Final Fantasy. Now I get 1
Sad.
night. And it'll be fucking
Sad.
side quests, my luck. But hey,
But I don't know.
But other than that, other than its terrible pacing at times, the story's good, and I like the characters.
I mean, there's not. I
What
don't
else
think
do we
there's a
hate?
Final Fantasy that hasn't been victim of poor pacing. To be fair,
True, but the thing is, Hojo's Lab's an hour. These side quests.
yeah, but it's
sometimes-
real bad.
Yeah,
but it's a bad hour.
but here's the thing: is this
a
game
bad
puts
hour.
this game puts a mediocre
bad
hour
Kyle
in every
needed me to
5
play it.
hours, where it's like, okay, you've had 5 of fun, here's 5 of fucking dull, and then you're like, oh god, please stop, make it stop. Can I just go to the next boss fight and collect my fucking Infinity Stone and move on? That's basically what I'm asking for.
Come to me, Ifrit.
It's time to collect another fucker. Anyway, next week, who knows what we're going to talk about? What I was going to say was, if you have any suggestions, let us know. You can get in contact with us either on Twitter at HotGamersOnly or on the email hotgamesonly@gmail.com if you want to suggest something that isn't a tier list. Will we bring back the Fable 3x3 because we've already done too many tier lists this year? Who knows? I don't.
Maybe.
You'll have to find out soon.
I like how unhinged these tier lists are getting, though.
Next time, it's just going to be us
Just
screaming at each other.
If
yeah.
we just keep making them until we're out of this drought, we will have lost our minds on the last episode, and it will be great.
Well, here's the thing. I think the first one. Was civil. I think the second one, there was discussions. This one has been fucking screaming. I think the next time there's going to be literal
I don't think we've been screaming at each other.
Yeah, no, I think that's where we go
We were
next.
screaming at the companies.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the next stage, though. I think the next stage is we just start screaming at each other, and then that's when hell breaks
Yeah, but
loose.
that would be funny.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's content.
let's
As soon
get
as we
out of
turn
here.
off the record button, you're gonna tell Kyle that you're gonna like slap his mom or something.
I would never
Whoa.
say such a thing about Kyle's mum.
Whoa.
What the fuck? That is, I'm actually offended. I would never say something like that. I just want you guys to know that one, it would be to something like it would probably be like nan or some other funny word, and two, it would never be specifically to somebody. It would be an ambiguous nan. Thank you very much. It would never be to somebody, Cunter.
Yeah. Off the
How
podcast,
dare you.
Ethan
I
treats me
only
with nothing
said
but
mom
respect,
instead
and
of
he
man
always
because it
likes
would
my
sound
opinions.
disingenuous
Checks in the mail.
to say nan as an American who doesn't ever say it.
Yeah.
All right,
But it would never be Kyle's. It would be an ambiguous third party nan.
the royal nan.
Sure, whoever. Anyway, we're going on for too long. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But until then, have an awesome week, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Ooh.